Within 90 days of the issuance of the policy memo issued by USCIS pausing all asylum application and certain other immigration pending cases, USCIS will prioritize a list for review, interview, re-interview, and referral to ICE and other law enforcement agencies. Hello, everyone. This is Attorney Andre McKinney-Dorval. In this video, we are talking about USCIS's policy memo issued on December 2nd, which has put a pause on all asylum applications, regardless of the person's nationality, and on certain other immigration applications, depending on whether the applicant is from a country listed on the high risk list and entered the country on or after January 20th, 2021. But others could be subject to these restrictions. In this video, let's talk about a few things non-citizens should be aware of in light of this policy memo that is going to certainly feel like, for many people, an immigration application shutdown. Let's get into it, guys. What I want to share with you, as I indicated, if you have a pending asylum application, your case is on hold, regardless of your nationality or even when you filed it. If you are seeking other immigration benefits, like a green card, travel document, naturalization, and you are a national or someone born in one of the 19 high-risk countries, your pending application is also on hold. Now, you also may be subject to enhanced vetting and interviews. So again, if you are a national or someone born in one of the 19 high-risk countries, then mandatory interviews. You are subject to mandatory interviews, even if you're applying for a benefit that usually allows for an interview waiver, like some green card renewals. You are also subject to potential re-interviews and potential interviews in the first instance, as I've stated. Now, if your case has been approved, it can be reopened. So again, if you're from one of the 19 high-risk countries the administration has designated, and you were in the U.S. on or after the 20th of January, 2021, and you were already approved for a benefit like a green card, your approved status is going to be subject to mandatory comprehensive re-review. What does that mean? That means USCIS is going to take a look at your file again. In some cases, you may think, well, didn't they do all of that? Because for a green card, you've got to be subject to biometrics and certainly background checks. Well, according to this memo, there is going to be a mandatory comprehensive re-review. And so this comprehensive re-review of your file, this could lead to a re-interview of you, the applicant, or worse yet, a revocation if security concerns are found. Now, the 19 high-risk countries, I will leave a list of it on screen here. But these 19 countries, this goes back to the Presidential Proclamation 10949. That's known as the June 2025 travel ban, and we did a video on that. So those are the countries that are subject to this hold and pause USCIS has issued. Now, again, the restrictions apply to individuals who list, if your application for a benefit you're seeking with immigration, if it lists one of these 19 countries as a country you were born in, or a country you hold citizenship with or from, then you fall within the purview of the restrictions regarding this USCIS immigration application shutdown. Now, what should non-citizens be doing or considering? First, what I want to share, many individuals are thinking, should you still apply for an immigration benefit or application that you are eligible for? Well, let me just share this with you. The black letter law of whatever immigration benefit or application you are seeking, that black letter law as passed by Congress is still the law. While working with your licensed immigration attorney, you should definitely determine any risk factors applicable to you, your immigration history, and background. And so the law itself has not changed in terms of who can apply. If you are eligible for a benefit, then you are eligible to apply. But be sure to work with an attorney to risk assess any applications you plan on submitting. And it goes without saying along the same lines in terms of other practical things you should be considering, and that is you've got to prepare for long wait times. The memo itself does not state how long the hold is going to be. So for now, we can certainly presume this hold is indefinite. And the required comprehensive security reviews mean processing times for affected cases are going to be significantly longer than usual. But you also should know, even if you're not a person who was born or holds citizenship from one of these listed countries, your application benefit could also be significantly longer because you only have so many adjudicators to review these applications. Another thing that you should note, this is not the time to travel. If you have any type of pending application, and even if you have advanced parole, this is not the time to travel. Another thing you should note also, it is being reported that airlines are working alongside and with the administration as far as providing information on individuals, the traveling individuals' background. So be aware of that. If you can avoid travel altogether during this time, if you have a pending application, or if you are someone who received your green card application within the time frame the memo states, now is not the time to travel. Another thing that you should be aware of, if you have an employment work permit based on a pending application like asylum or adjustment of status, more specifically, asylum, you want to make sure that you file your renewal as soon as possible, at the very least 6 months prior to the expiration of your current work permit, because you don't want to have any greater gaps in work authorization due to these prolonged processing times. Another thing to remember is that the automatic EAD extensions, the administration has eliminated that. So you definitely want to submit your EAD renewal application as soon as possible. Another thing also that's being reported, requests for evidence are being issued. And so with that being said, you want to make sure that your address is correct on file, because if you have a pending case or a case that's subject to being re-interviewed, and you are issued a request for evidence, and let's say you're given only 30 days, you want to make sure there's no delay due to your address not being updated. Another thing that's also being reported, we know that uh, people who are being arrested at their USCIS immigration interviews, specifically in this instance, it's being reported visa overstay beneficiaries are being arrested in many cases with no criminal convictions, but simply arrests. For example, being arrested for no valid driver's license. In many instances, without a conviction, they are being arrested and put in detention with ICE. So you want to be aware of that. If you don't have a valid driver's license, certainly in the state of Florida and other states, it is against the law to drive without a valid driver's license. Guys, these are just a few of the takeaways I want to share with you guys. 90 days from December 2nd, or within 90 days, let me clarify. The memo indicates within 90 days of the issuance of this memo, which is December 2nd, USCIS is to have compiled a priority list for review, interview, re-interview, and referral to ICE and other law enforcement agencies. And so certainly, guys, we know that this hold and pause will be in effect at least for 90 days, but it's likely to be much longer. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and share this video, guys. Share this video to get the information out. Again, like, share, and comment, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.